Hello. This training video will lead us through the framework try-in appointment for the patient who is receiving a dental implant bridge. This appointment is required to ensure that we are working off an accurate cast, which is both verified clinically and with an x-ray. It will also allow us the opportunity to take a jaw registration when required. So this morning we have a metal framework try-in appointment, as these two healed implants in the central sites will be restored with a fixed bridge with a distal pontic on the upper right lateral incisor. So we need to ensure that the cast we're working on is accurate, and we need to ensure that the framework fits accurately onto these implants. So what we'll do first of all is remove the sulcus formers. Thank you. I find these abutment clamps incredibly useful when gripping these metal sulcus formers, which can be quite tightly attached to the implants there. So the first impression is that seats passively into both implants. We'll also assess clinically how these screws tighten up. There should be no progressive tightening of the screws if this framework fits passively. There should be a sudden snap tightening to both of these screws, which will mean that the cast they'll be made on is actually accurate and it is a faithful replica of what we've got in the mouth. Now we'll confirm this as well with a periapical radiograph to ensure that the framework is seating well onto the implants. You can also see that the soft tissues are not blanching, as the information from the sulcus formers was delivered to the laboratory to ensure that the emergence profile is kept as the clinical tissues are currently sculpted. Okay, let's check that seated framework with a periapical radiograph. Gently close together there, please. Thank you. So as you can see from that radiograph, the framework is seated well into the implants in the central sites, confirming that this framework is fitting well. So the other purpose of this appointment is to register the tooth contacts, or bite registration or occlusal registration. Close together for me. As you can see, the framework is currently not touching the opposing teeth. So I like to now at this stage go around with something fine like shim stop to record the existing tooth contacts, because we don't want to interfere with those when we make our implant bridge. And open for me and close together. As you can see, there's a contact here on the canines which I'll record on my laboratory ticket. Open for me, close again. And also here, open for me, close again. Also here, open for me, and close again, and also back here on the molars. So I'll record those and write them on the lab sheet so the technician knows exactly which teeth are in contact. Open for me, close together. Can we have the flame on there, please? Now I'll also take this opportunity to help stabilise the casts with some bite registration material. which I'll apply between the framework and the opposing teeth, and I'm going to try this on the models whilst the patient is still in the chair to ensure that the technician has got one simple position in which to place the casts. Now, have some Vaseline please. It doesn't matter which registration material you use as long as it works well for you. Ideally you want something that is pretty sloppy in the mouth, and then when it sets it's very rigid out of the mouth when it's seated on the cast. Okay, and bite together please. So I'll just let that set. We don't want to place material between the teeth that are currently in contact. Really is just helping to stabilise the area where we haven't got any contact. Can I have a bowl of cold water, please? And open, please. So you don't want too much detail picked up with this material, but just enough to help it seat on the models. I'll just get that chilled off in some cold water. Now this is the crucial part as far as I'm concerned, is transferring that information from the mouth to the cast that the bridge will be made on. So the sulcus forms are going to be repositioned, and I'll just try that framework on the cast in a second. Now that we have confirmed that the framework fits accurately in the mouth and that we have taken our bite registration as well, I transfer the framework to the model because we want to be sure that the bite registration also accurately fits the model as it does so in the mouth. We can therefore guarantee that the technician has a faithful replica of the clinical situation on his models. There we go, so the registration material fits very snugly onto the framework, not interfering with the other teeth which are in contact. If you remember, we took the contacts before we put the framework in, and we have made a record of these. So we now relate the lower cast to the upper cast and the registration material, like so, and that slots in very nicely with no rocking, which means that the technician can assemble these casts and articulate these casts accurately in one position, which will give him the clinical situation perfectly. You sometimes find that the soft tissues do collapse quite quickly, and initially the sulcus forms cause some discomfort, so you slowly return to the sulcus forms to give them the final tweak to ensure they're fully seated once that soreness dissipates, which might just take a few minutes or so. There we are. I hope this training video has made it clear that the purpose of this appointment is twofold. Firstly, to ensure that we are working off an accurate cast and that the framework fits accurately in the mouth, and also it offers us an opportunity to register the bite accurately as well. I hope this has been clear, but if you wish to discuss the matter further, please contact us at the Implant Centre.